What's up, nerds? Welcome to Cool Nerd Reviews. I'm Steve Trezza.
Scott Burnett.
Ed Good.
Devin Burr.
And we are here with the Arrow review for this week. Arrow is back after a 3-week hiatus, and we are going to talk about The Offer, which is the episode that aired this week. So, this episode...
It starts where last week left off.
It starts where... You mean last 3 weeks left off?
No, Arrow was on last week. Wasn't it?
No, it wasn't.
No, it was not on last week.
Was it?
Yeah. No.
Yeah. You're wrong. So, it starts off with...
we watched it together. That was the last time we
with
saw
Arrow,
it.
back in Nanda Parbat, with Ra's al Ghul. And Ra's al Ghul offers for him to become the next
Ra's al Ghul.
Ra's al Ghul. And what do we see in that scene? The Lazarus Pit! Finally! Finally! Devin,
Listen,
still doesn't. It just has too much pride to admit that he's wrong.
Yeah.
But
he
he's
never
wrong.
called it
It's
that.
the Lazarus Pit.
He never said it.
It
healed his hand.
restores his youth and healed his hand.
Why didn't he say it then? Why didn't he say the name?
I can't wait until they
Trademarking? I
actually
don't know.
say it in
Yeah.
one episode
No,
so we
there's
can shove
a
it in
movie
his
that's
face.
out.
There's
Anyway.
a movie out called Lazarus Rising.
No, Lazarus
Oh,
Effect.
shit, so maybe that's
What?
it.
It's called Lazarus Effect.
Lazarus Effect.
Whatever. We're not talking about that crappy looking movie with the guy from The League. So anyway.
Donald Glover and Olivia Wilde.
So anyway, he
Spider-Man.
back on topic. So anyway, Ra's al Ghul offers to Ollie to become the next Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
And he declines.
Yeah. And they just let him go.
And they just let him go.
With all of his
Well,
friends.
here's the thing. I don't feel like it's a 100% him declining, because he doesn't say no. He's just like, what if I say no? He's like, you can leave here with your friends as a sign of good faith. So he just leaves. And then later on he talks about comprehending it. And then later on he talks about not comprehending it. But I'm just saying...
And he also talks to Felicity about it, about
Right.
how he's thinking about doing it, about how he's not sure if what he's doing is... what he should be doing, right. and he's like, I don't know, I've been doing this for 3 years and nothing's changed.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't do anything. He
feel
saved
like-
the city.
Yeah.
I feel like this is becoming more Batman-esque now. Because this is
It's a very Batman season.
I know, and I'm
Well,
like...
the story
I'm
is
feeling
pulled straight from Batman.
Yeah.
Right.
I know.
And then, hold on. Stephen Amell said he would like to fight Batman in the show. Well,
I don't think it'll happen.
It won't happen. But
I don't know why it won't.
But I'm just saying...
The WB won't put Batman in this universe.
Yeah, but it's just...
They won't.
It's a good way to kind of just tell a story from a different view, and then just kind of the end of the season with Ra's al Ghul is going to be Ra's realizing that Ollie wasn't the successor he wanted anyway.
I guarantee you what's going to happen is they took so much from Batman that they're going to want to differentiate from it. Ollie's going to take the job. Ollie's going to be the next Ra's al Ghul.
You think so?
Absolutely.
I don't think
No.
so.
I guarantee you he takes it, but it's not. It's going to be for like a couple episodes.
There's no way.
My crazy
Watch.
prediction...
Watch it happen.
All right.
He's going to take it.
My crazy prediction is that, at the end of the season, Ollie is going to, flat out, eventually be like, no, this is not for me. There's going to be some sort of fight, yada, yada, yada.
That's it.
Hold on.
No, you're good.
And
Go
then
ahead.
what's going to happen is you're going to have the other daughter come in, Talia.
Talia.
And, there'll be a scene where she says to her, to Ra's, I found somebody worthy, and that's it. It's going to be a nod to how Bruce Wayne, or Ra's wants Bruce Wayne to be the next actual successor.
Maybe
of the
they'll
League of
mention
Assassins.
Gotham or something.
Right. Yeah. And it's just going to be a very subtle nod, because you'll have, you may not even see Talia. You just hear her be like, Father, I found somebody, more worthy of, your position. And that's going to be it.
Now,
Well, think about it. 'Cause
I like your theory more than yours, and I think you're completely wrong. And I
Yeah.
will...
I'm in this. I said the same exact thing because at the end you see Ra's frame Arrow, so he's going to take the position because of that.
Yeah, and we're jumping the gun on the end here. But, yes.
Well, I'm just trying to prove my point because I said the same thing in lesser words, and you're like, "Nah, he's wrong," and you're like, "He's right, you're wrong." We said the same thing.
No, you're both kind of wrong, and I mean, Ed, elaborate a little bit more. But I'll get to that. Anyway, what happened in this episode? So, Murmur was in the episode. He was...
Barely.
He was a good one-off villain.
They just used them.
They used him just for the episode, and whatever. It was all right. He was like the comic book issue villain.
Right.
Is what he was.
They made him look terrifying.
They did, and
They made him bald and just sewed his lips up. Wasn't that?
And the Arrow team does show that they are like still banding together and they're still a team, even though there's a little bit of like meh within the team. It's just like they're kind of, arguing here and there and whatever. Especially with Felicity, where she's like, "How the hell can you like think about doing this?" So there is like a little bit of conflict, but it's not really that much. So he lets them go. They go back to Starling. Now, Detective Lance.
He's all butthurt.
He's all butthurt.
I think he's going to die at the end of the season.
We've been saying this.
I know.
Since like season 2.
But now they're really setting it up so that, we don't care about him anymore.
Yeah.
They're really setting it up so we don't care about him.
And they're kind of doing that, and then they're also going to do the whole, like, when he dies, we are going to care, because it's going to be like, you're going to remember the good times with Detective Lance when he helped the Arrow, and, like all that. But he is kind of going back to his, like, character with season 1.
Right.
Which he's still, like, a really good actor.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I don't want to see him go. But basically, Oliver comes back. He's back in the city. He captures a bunch of criminals, and Detective Lance is there, and Detective Lance basically just calls him out.
Waiting for a thank you?
Yeah. And just...
I don't do it for thank yous. And then way more grappling arrows where he's like...
But that's the thing, when he does it, there's nothing there.
In the
It's
skyline.
like one street pole.
Yeah.
So I'm just like imagining like after that 5 seconds of like when the camera went away, he's still just there, just hanging, and like he's just looking up, and I was like,
Lance is like, I still see you over there. He's like, no, you don't.
There's another man
In the shadows.
every week with that joke.
But did you
Every
catch in the
goddamn
flashback that
week.
Shadow's back?
Yes, in the flashback. It is, well...
What do you mean so? She died!
That's the preview. The preview is showing the shadows back. So who knows?
No, it was in the flashback.
It was in the flashback. They
Oh,
ran
they're
into her.
They're running through the market.
And then it ended, right?
Yeah.
And then it shows
And
like
that was
Shadow.
it for the flashback.
Yeah.
Yeah. She died last season.
Yeah.
Again, okay. Obviously,
hate
it's the
flashbacks.
same actress that played Shadow. Is it Shadow?
Hell yeah, it is.
No, it's probably like her twin sister or
Yeah,
something.
that's my guess.
Shadow was my sister. Like that, they're gonna play that whole part.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Hopefully
Who
they'll
knows?
do a better
They always
Asian
do that.
accent
So,
than she did.
I'm-
You know I can't do accents.
So, one of the things that I'm
No.
I'm gonna take back one of my previous theories. I don't think Masayo's son is gonna die.
I don't know. I still think he's gonna.
I
die.
think this
He
chick,
is
who's
so
we
dead.
think is Shadow, is gonna take him off somewhere else because Masayo then says something later. He goes, when he denies the Ra's al Ghul offer, I will always be thankful for what you did for my family. There's not as much as the cold shoulder anymore. Like he referenced to his family. I don't think the kid's dying off, but I think the kid is going somewhere away from them.
So, and also you have to also think the kid's about like 10.
Yeah.
Right. Now the flashbacks are like 4 years before, so the kid's like 14 now. So. He's a lot. The age difference between 10 and 14, yeah, it's 4 years, but you're at that weird age where it's like you're completely height difference, puberty, everything.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's completely different looking than he was, way back then. So maybe that, you think, everyone kind of thinks of him as like this 10-year-old that's not with his parents.
Right.
You're not thinking of him as a teenager that's not with his parents, which makes more sense.
Right.
So he may not be dead, which we were thinking he might have been dead before. Now, what also happens in this story, we have the whole not Laurel. Thea confesses to Nyssa that it was her that killed Sarah.
Right.
So Nyssa, she lets Nyssa out. She wants Nyssa to kill her or whatever, and Nyssa refuses because Nyssa's like, no, I'm not after you, I'm after your father.
Mm-hmm.
Ollie brings Malcolm Merlin back, and he's got to recover. Which, what the fuck? Like, who gives a shit about Malcolm? Why are they still caring about Malcolm Merlin?
They don't need
this
him anymore.
storyline doesn't make sense.
It'll eventually
I guess you're supposed
come
to say
together.
like you're supposed to love everyone in your family. 'cause
I mean,
it's a
but
CW.
I think it's time for Merlin
He
to disappear.
killed
Right.
Sarah.
it's
right.
also the same Station Bros 7 Heaven.
Still,
but so
he killed Sarah,
it's-
and Oliver's just like, let him rest. Like,
yeah.
fuck that shit. Just
It's-
leave him
well,
with fucking
He
Ra's al
probably
Ghul.
thinks he needs all the help he can get with Roz.
Well,
No.
I think that I thought there was gonna be the line of that they need Malcolm's money kind of thing. I thought that was gonna be part
Well,
of it.
they need Malcolm's
We
help.
need him, keep him around. We need him for his money.
They need him for
I ain't
help
saying
because,
she's a gold digger.
but they need him for help because fucking Laurel still sucks ass.
Which
So
I
much.
love the fact that she's getting her ass.
Yes,
so
but
often.
that is awesome.
Yes.
Like,
That is great.
because
I'm
she's
so
still
happy.
trying, and she's trying so hard, but she's still
He's
like, and I love that
Why are you gonna
because
tell me to stop practicing when you don't need
But
to
then-
practice?
yeah, he even
He's
said
like,
that.
he says he's like, you still need training. She goes, when are you gonna stop saying that? When you don't need training.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, then you see Nyssa take Laurel under
Which
her wing.
Nyssa comes over and has like that girl crush look on her face too.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
She's
it's
looking to
Sarah's-
smash the whole family.
Yeah.
'cause
She's
it's
gonna go
Sarah-
after
it's
Laurel.
Sarah's
She's gonna
sister.
go after Sarah. She's gonna
Well-
go after Detective Lance.
No, she's not.
She's
She's
knocking
a
them
lesbian.
all out. She's knocking them all out. She's getting a hat
one thing
trick.
that was interesting is that how Raish has outed Nyssa. He told her like leave essentially.
Oh, I
No.
thought you
Well,
were like
Raish
outed
said
because she was
she-
gay.
She
Well, yeah, he
was
does do that. That's why
was-
he tells her to leave.
She was mad because he offered the next racial goal to
Right.
Ollie and not her, and
Right.
she said, "How dare you do this instead of me?"
To an outsider, not your own blood.
Yeah, and then she was like, "I'm going to try and take it from him," and he said, "Then do it." Basically, he just told her.
No, she says, why should I stay or something like that? And he says, then don't.
Okay.
So it's not like he says, try and take it from
tough
Ollie.
love.
She says, why would I stay here for someone that's...
Which, by the way, when she swings the sword at him, he just grabs it.
Dude, he just...
How badass was that? That was like...
Dude, that was
you don't fuck
awesome.
with Ra's al Ghul.
Yep. Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
That was sweet. And then also, but going back to Thea, so Thea's dealing with this whole, like, I hate my father, like, type thing with Malcolm Merlin.
Yeah.
Which, again, like, I still don't understand why they fucking Malcolm
Because
Merlin.
they need Thea to do something.
I think it's time for him to disappear again for a season. I mean,
Think about it. But if he wasn't there, Thea would be useless.
disappear because he's the magician.
Oh.
So, but then also, Thea's dealing with all this shit, and then at the end of the episode,
Yeah,
go back to
Roy.
Roy.
Yeah,
All
Red
right,
Arrow.
Roy.
I'm
How's
si-
that shit?
I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, give her the red arrow.
Yeah, it sounds like
That was
a dog penis.
Red rocket, red rocket, red
Yeah.
rocket.
So, that was good. I mean, I don't know. I wanted to see Thea and Roy get back together. I think everyone likes Roy.
Yeah,
Everyone likes Thea. All right, good. Yeah.
I want to see Thea become Artemis.
Job accomplished.
You
Okay.
think she's gonna be Artemis?
I think she's gonna be
No,
Artemis.
she's gonna be Speedy.
No, I think she's gonna be Speedy.
Someone's got to lose an arm.
Yeah.
Well, that would be Roy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
which might happen.
I just
There's
think
a lot of
someone lose
sword
an arm
play
and
in
then
this
that
season.
person's
I think.
arsenal.
Yeah,
The end.
I think they call him Arsenal.
They call him Arsenal.
They
Wait.
do.
Which is dumb.
Oh yeah, like Murmur was getting a gun. They're getting diamonds, like low grade diamonds, to make armor-piercing bullets. That was another thing.
Yeah, that's a little rough.
Yeah, and they have the armor-piercing bullets. So at the end of the episode, we see Ra's al Ghul is, we see all the thugs with the armor-piercing rounds. They're like, oh, well, we still got a bunch of those armor-piercing rounds. And they're like talking. So you're thinking like they're gonna go out and like maybe like
Fuck shit
That was
up.
a
fuck
little
shit
bit,
up, and then it's gonna set up for next episode. Then all of a sudden you see some guy get fucking impaled with an arrow, and then it's like, and I even like said out loud, I was like, oh shit, he's killing people
Yeah.
again. Like I was like, oh, he's like fucked up and whatever. And then you realize it's Ra's al Ghul who is
trying to
Dress.
kill the arrow.
as the
So-
arrow. So basically, he's doing it to kill the arrow's reputation.
Right,
Yeah.
and he's basically
Which will force him to take the job as Ra's
And
al
one
Ghul.
thing
And it shows
Which
next
I was
week.
saying before.
So I
I'll get
feel
to
like that how he predicted all these things for Ollie, and Ollie believed them at one point because two things happened.
Mm.
It's very much he predicted them because he's going to make them happen.
Yes.
Don't say no to Ra's al Ghul.
I can see
That's the whole
that,
thing.
but also, I don't think that he's going to take the Ra's al Ghul position because he's
Especially since
obviously
after that.
going to know.
He's going to take the Nyssa Al Ghul position.
He's obviously going to know that it's Ra's al Ghul that's dressing up as him, and the kind of
Well, yeah,
character-
obviously he's doing it to get him to stop.
exactly. But the kind of character that Oliver isn't the type of person that's going to give into that.
If he's
Like,
killing innocent people and threatening his friends, of course he will.
I agree.
I
Because
don't
how
think
many
so.
times has he given into something because people were threatened, people were dying?
And especially because
I
he's got
think
this
he
whole
has-
thing. He's got this whole thing where he's like, I'm not doing any good. If he sees more innocent people starting to drop, he's going to be like, I'm going to take this job to get it to stop. And that rhymed. So that's how you know it's true.
And-
I think he has more pride in himself that he's not going to do it.
not at
That's
this
what I
point.
think.
Not at
And-
this point.
and
He's so
Malcolm-
down
I
on
think so.
himself.
And
I think-
Malcolm
I think
Merlin
so.
also says Ra's al Ghul does not make offers. he makes demands.
Yeah.
So,
Raish is not going to stop until Ollie either kills him, which he can't do, or takes a position. I think he takes a position and uses that to
because he says, he goes, they will follow, your command if you are Raish Al Ghul. And he's like, if you tell them to stop killing, they will stop. And he's like, they're called the League of Assassins for a reason. And he's like, yes, but
I was an assassin once.
Yeah, he's like, exactly. He does say that I was an assassin once. And at the same sense,
you can rename them, like the League of Shadows.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he is saying that. Listen, you being the demon's head, they will follow.
Yeah.
So, also earlier this week we had the whole the rest of the season preview for Arrow.
Oh God!
Which had a shitload of spoilers in it. But anyway, we had this whole thing of the Atom where.
Which I found out this week that they were trying to use the Blue Beetle instead of the Atom, and they couldn't.
Okay.
And one of the showrunners said that it was a blessing that they couldn't use the Blue Beetle and they could use the Atom for one specific reason, and he never stated what it was, and it's definitely because he could shrink. That's why I think they're going to use the shrink on Flash.
Okay.
And they're not going to, but. In the preview, he shoots lightning out of his goddamn hands.
Not only his hands, his like Emperor Palpatine.
I was gonna say he's Iron Palpatine now. What are they doing?
They don't have the special effects to be like Iron Man, so it's just regular.
Repulsive
It's
technology.
literally Iron Man versus Batman at this point.
Anyway, my point I was gonna get at earlier this season, we had that whole Paleyfest preview. So it showed kind of like the rest of the preview of the rest of the season. And the Atom was he's like, Oliver Queen is the Arrow? I must stop him. But when he says I must stop him, it doesn't show him, and it shows a different clip. And initially I was like, they just are deceiving you, and they're cutting two clips together, and that's not, he's not going to go against him. Now, because this whole Ra's al Ghul shit that's happening, obviously he thinks that Ra's is Arrow, so that's why he's going to fight him.
Yeah.
That's what I think is going to happen. I think everyone kind of put that togetger. So that's basically what we have on our plate.
And
possibly next episode.
No, next episode, Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
Do you think Ra's...
It's called Suicidal Tendencies. It happens at Diggle's wedding. I hope Diggle doesn't die. I hope
Diggle's not
he's
going
there,
to die.
GL.
He's not going to die.
Let's hope not.
I love any episode with Deadshot in it, so...
Oh, Deadshot's fantastic. He's one of my favorite recurring villains in the series.
I hate how they didn't cast Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
She's kind of one of those big names. It's like
but they teased her at the end.
They did tease her
at the end of this episode in the second season.
Yeah.
She was in the prison.
Yep.
Like, oh, just do Harley Quinn. God damn it, she's my love.
So,
Stop.
you dropped her.
You're abusing the pudding.
I ruined everything I love.
Anyway, it was a good. I thought it was a really good episode. Definitely one of the better Arrow episodes of the season.
Well, yeah, but this season's been kind of slow.
It's been slow, but it was good.
Yeah,
and it'll continue to get better. I think.
I just can't like I said previously. I just can't. I think they should air Flash after Arrow because Flash is continually doing way better than.
It's doing better than Arrow, but
because they have the thing is Arrow's getting a little long in the tooth. They're blowing through a lot of story where Flash has one thing that they're working on.
Right.
Yeah.
Where Arrow's just like more.
They're two completely different shows though too.
But they're run by the same showrunners, and Arrow's showing its age where Flash is new.
Yeah,
young show.
Yeah, but you know what? Arrow's still it's not bad.
Oh no, not at all. I'm just saying Flash is better.
It's not Agent Carter.
Oh yeah. Oh, God.
Glad that's over.
Anyway, so that's our review for Arrow the Offer.
Make sure you check our other reviews.
Who do you think won the week?
And like and favorite them.
Who won the week? I think Flash won the week. I think it's
Flash.
Oh, sweet.
I think it's Flash, Walking Dead, Arrow, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's what I think it was.
Yep.
All right. So we will check out our reviews, our Walking Dead review, our Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. review, our Flash review, and you're watching the Arrow review. And check our Super Fight episode that we just put out recently, and we will see you around our channel.
Hopefully.
Like, favorite, subscribe.